Yo, what's up, man? Just wanted to give my prediction and my thoughts on the Shane Mayweather fight, and before that, I want to talk to you about the pre-fight, the fight before the main event. We're talking about a young and up-and-coming prospect from Guadalajara, Mexico, Saul, I wrote his name around there, Saul Canelo Alvarez. This kid, young kid, he's tall, fighting at welterweight, 31 fights, undefeated, one draw apparently, 23 KOs. He will be facing Miguel Cotto's older brother, Jose Cotto, 31 fights, one draw, one loss. That one loss was to Juan Diaz. Y'all remember Juan Diaz from the Mosley-Jose fights, Juan Diaz under Golden Boy Promotions. That one draw that he had was with a Filipino fighter from the Philippines. Well, people were kind of pissed off when he gave the decision because we all thought that the Filipino fighter won the fight, and that was here PR. But we like to be fair with our fights. And, well, it wasn't fair for the Filipino fighter. He gave it a draw. And that was the same fight where Jose Cotto started fighting with his uncle in the corner, and Miguel Cotto had to jump in. It was a nasty, terrible thing. And, you know, from then on, Jose Cotto's career has been up and down, and now he's going to fight a young and up-and-coming prospect, a heavy hitter, in a higher division. Jose Cotto fights at 140, not at 147. But, he's going to get paid a lot of money, apparently. Usually when you're in a HBO card, and especially on the pay-per-view and the fight before the actual main event, he should be getting paid over $300,000, something like that. If y'all guys know any better or the exact amount, just correct me on that one. But he won't be making good money, so obviously you would fight anyone for that amount of money. So I'll still have the Alvarez kid from Mexico winning this fight. Obviously he's young, he's been more constant in his fights. Jose Cotto has a lot of time off here and there. He's just very undisciplined. I've heard here in PR that he's been training very hard for this fight. But still, I still think this young Alvarez kid from Guadalajara, Mexico, to me, he seems to be entertaining, very charismatic. This guy, TV friendly. I'm just already thinking him, Andre Berto, in a future fight, welterweight. So we have a lot of things to look forward in the future at the welterweight division. Now, very quick with my thoughts and actual prediction with the Floyd Shane fight. I think you can compare it a bit to Floyd De La Hoya, because Shane did fight De La Hoya in their prime, but when De La Hoya fought Mayweather, obviously De La Hoya was older, and he's the same age as Shane, even though we know Shane has been in better shape. And but if you see that Oscar De La Hoya and Shane fight, it was a boring fight. It turned into a bitch slap competition. They wanted to do a rematch, and we were like, hell no, no rematch, it sucks. And they canceled it. So what can we expect? What can we actually expect from Floyd Mayweather and Shane Mosley? I think Floyd Mayweather faster, great accuracy, incredible reflexes. Shane Mosley, tons of experience. Shane Mosley stronger, hits harder. Shane Mosley willing to put on a show and entertain a crowd. Floyd Mayweather willing just to do what he needs to do to win. My favorite boxer and the guy I'll be rooting for will be Shane Mosley. The guy I think is going to win the fight based on his speed, it's going to be Mayweather. I think Mayweather's going to win a split decision win over Shane Mosley. You'll see Shane Mosley. You will not see Shane Mosley tired. You'll see him frustrated at certain points, but you won't see him tired. Shane Mosley, I think he can actually catch Floyd Mayweather with a good punch, and if he does, he has all the stamina in the world to finish off Floyd Mayweather. If that happens, Sav Judah would usually get tired past the 6th round, but if you see the Sav Judah Mayweather fight, but Shane Mosley, man, this guy has incredible stamina, man. This guy is a real athlete. But still, I think Floyd Mayweather is just an incredible talent. He was never really willing to take the fights, the real fights, where he can prove that he's, or at least test his incredible abilities. But guys, in his own weight class, guys coming up in his era that was just as good. He never fought a Cotto when Cotto was in his prime. Cotto's now, he's been tough wars. It wouldn't be the same. He did not want to fight Margarito. That would have been a great fight, Margarito, Floyd Mayweather. But I'm talking about before the Margarito. Now the Margarito, I don't really care about him anymore. Still, but I still I applaud Mayweather. He's been smart. He's been very smart. He's been able to capture our attention anyhow. I still want to see the fight. I still want to see the fight, and I understand that it's smart to make your own money and not let promoters steal all your money and leave you broke. So Floyd Maywether, all my respects in the world. I think the guy's been able to be smart in the ring and out the ring, but that's the thing. He's always looking to be smart, be too safe, not take any risk. And to me, I don't know, this guy's more of a hustler. The guy talks a good game, but you watch the previews. You watch the preview fights. You see Shane Mosley fighting everybody, from Luis Collazo, a young cat, all the way to De La Hoya in his prime. When you see the previews of Mayweather, you see Marquez, a 12-round fight with Marquez. Marquez, a fighter from 130, 135. That's a preview, and it couldn't even knock Marquez out. He fought Ricky Hatton, and that's what you see in the previews. Ricky Hatton, a fighter from 140, he made Ricky Hatton move up to 147. He knocked him out 10th round. Manny Pacquiao from 130 division moved up to 140 and knocked Mr. Ricky Hatton out 2 rounds. 2 rounds. We're talking about a smaller fighter from a smaller weight class moved up and knocked Ricky Hatton out 2 rounds at 140. Mayweather, a natural 147, made Ricky Hatton move up to 147. Couldn't knock him out. Did knock him out 10th round. And it just, I think Mayweather's been smart. He's been able to talk a good game, been able to piss people off, and a lot of people watch the fight because they want to see him win. The majority of the people want to watch the fight because they want to see him lose. So I think that's a smart way to make people want to see the fight, because at the end of the day, it's about how many people are going to watch the pay-per-views and how many people are going to go and watch the fight at the stadium. If you play the bad boy road to perfection like Mayweather does, you got to give him all the credit, man. The guys like Randy Orton from WWE, the guys, Mayweather is just a very smart, intelligent guy, and he knows how to get people pissed off and get under people's skin. He'll even piss off the fans. It's just amazing. I really, it's a craft. It's magic what Floyd Mayweather does to attract people to watch his fights. It's an incredible thing. But still, I'm way more a bigger fan of Shane Mosley. So I hope Shane Mosley wins this fight. But my prediction is Mayweather wins, split decision. That's all. Let's see what's up this Saturday, coming up Saturday, people. I'm kind of sleepy, so I'm out, people.